Hello and welcome back to 100-Bit Part 4.
After that hiccup.
Yeah, apparently one of the many saddest ailments in this game is, ending of episodes.
In the middle of a conversation.
In the middle of a sentence. What I really was trying to say was, sometimes you get stunned, sometimes, you'll start losing life rapidly. Just things like that happen in the game where you really do have to watch yourself and dodge roll around everywhere. But yeah, it's a thing.
Langston River.
Langston River. As you can tell, the river's gone.
I was about to ask if there was going to be any other gameplay styles or gameplay shifts or anything like that.
There are kind of scenarios where it's, you're protecting the barge or kind of a thing, or the barge gets stuck, so now you have to go around and get the barge unstuck. But for the most part, you're playing this gameplay style is the most addicting, so you really don't want to change up. What I do want to point out, though, is that this level is called Langston River, but throughout the entirety of the level, you're not going to run into a river.
No water.
What happened during the calamity was there was a great upheaval of Earth. And so all of this is literally, not figuratively, literally floating in the sky. All that background stuff you see in the ground is the remnants of the world. And the reason why we're not there is because, as you can tell, there's lava everywhere. And I'm sure that if the kid were to make a trip to the bottom of, that area, he would suffocate and die from all the gases.
Or sequel bait.
Yeah. Ooh, this is nice.
Bastion 2, we're going down to the surface.
No, if I'm correct, they said that they're Supergiant Games, they're not going to do a Bastion 2. They're actually working on a different project, and it's probably the biggest reason why I'm going to get a PS4. It's a Transistor.
Yeah. Alright, a Transistor, I've heard of that one.
I've been seeing footage for that, and boy, is it beautiful. It's beautiful, mate. It's beautiful.
Now,
spot on.
Is this this isn't an escort mission. The barge doesn't have any health that you need to
No. This is stay alive for as long as you can on the barge. Or I'm sorry, not for as long as you can, but if, make it to your destination. Like I said, there are, little variances to the gameplay. For example, you can't necessarily dodge roll around the barge, otherwise you'll fall off. But, here we go. This is where it gets stuck. You're going to crash. Yay.
Still survivor hunting or core hunting?
Core hunting at this point. You come to that realization when you picked up Zolf. Nobody else survived.
Oh, okay. But, they're starting to dive into, not these enemies, but I guess the Ulala?
No, that was really an introduction. You don't really, find anything about their history other than inside of. See, that's what I'm talking about. That stuff right there where they bounce off of you and they just go around and smack you in the back.
Screw this, I'm off.
God, yeah, I'm out of here. No, I hate them.
Are there many of those?
Yeah, they're peppered everywhere.
In the later levels, do they show up?
No, in general, they just show up. It's because it's a turret classification. Oh. There's really 3 different types of turrets. There's the regular one, which shoots out 1 at a time. There's a rapid fire one, which will shoot 4 out in bursts. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. And then there's that one, which likes to mess with your head.
Oh wow, that was close.
Yeah, here's that other play style, or not play style, but core collecting, where you pick up the core and then, oh god, I just broke this world.
And you need to get off.
Oh god, yeah. Hurry back.
Is that the usual string of events?
Yeah, for the most part. Actually, you don't actually find that many worlds that stay intact too often. As soon as you pick up their pieces, the cores, they just kind of fall apart.
Metroid style, that's fine.
Yeah.
Are those turrets friendly?
Yep.
Or in love with you?
Well, they're friendly. That's what the heart signs is supposed to show.
Oh, okay, nice. I wish they were the ones that had the swirly curveball projectile.
No, they're definitely Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, there's 4 types. I'm sorry, I forgot to mention the fire-breathing ones. No. As you can tell, I romanced them.
Oh, nice.
Paragon romance for one.
There's an RPG romance. There's an RPG element there.
Oh yeah. Took me 20 gameplay hours to get them to love me like that.
Now I'm looking at your money counter. Is money ever a problem in the game?
Um, I did touch up on that a little bit. That some at a point you will have to grind because those later upgrades for your weapons get very pricey. And to make matters worse, you have at least a dozen weapons that you have to upgrade. So towards the end of the game, because once you complete level, there's no going back. Yeah, that one should be an obvious one when you're blowing up worlds, or I'm sorry, levels. Um, yeah, how you like that? I just jumped onto Yo Bodge. Now I'm gonna kill you and go back to mine. Anyways,
Oh well,
and
no, you did it in spirit.
I was there in heart. No, no, but
I mean, like probably shouldn't have to worry about maybe upgrading a couple of weapons. I mean, obviously, unless it's a game where you have access to all of them, then I would feel the need to upgrade them all. But you never have access to all of them in one level run through. You have access to 3.
yeah, no, well, 2 and then like a special move. The special moves don't have upgrades. There are better versions of them, but they're their own skills. And they take on a different characteristic. So, like for example, with the war machete, one of them is he throws the war machete, and like three of or no, I'm sorry, he throws it out, and it like rapid fire throws like 5 other ones, which is cool and all if you're throwing in a straight line. There's another one though. It's the special one that the war machete gets. It brings down a hail of the war machetes. So it's just out of nowhere. You're just like, pew, sound effects.
And what were those the peckers?
The peckers.
Are they Ulala enemies, or the?
No, they're just new enemies of the Calamity. They're the ones that live down on the surface, at least in Ura territory, because Ura territory is very jungly.
But they're when I'm looking at it, I'm seeing a lot of the enemies fight each other. These they aren't they're not a faction. They're
No,
just kind of enemies.
It goes back to the inner conflict with the game where Ura don't like Ceylandians, Ceylandians don't like Ura, thus the natural creatures from the habitat don't like each other either.
Oh,
Yeah, it gets pretty.
it's not like a vague environmental message.
Yeah, we don't like your kind around here.
Keep messing up the earth, and the earth will mess you up.
Yeah, exactly. In this part, these birds they fly around, and so they're not affected by the ground. So with a lot of these enemies, you could either trick them into falling off the platforms, or they just fall off. You don't necessarily have to trick them. So, some of them are just dumb like that.
Seeing you walk across these wood beams, how fluid is the controls when it comes to you moving around?
To be perfectly honest, a lot of the time when I fall off, the control.
Because it doesn't look like very smooth. You can shift from direction to direction. It looks kind of stiff in that regard.
No, not at all. It's actually very smooth. It's just the way that I play. I want to say the game is very smooth. The only time where I feel it gets a little loose is when you start dodge rolling. You'll see later on some of the turrets and stuff like that will shoot at me, and because I'm dodge rolling, the bullet all of a sudden curves. Or like if it hits me, I'll go flying at a curve. But the dodge roll is the only time I really feel like the controls are a little wonky. But for the most of the time, the controls are very tight. If I want to change directions in a split second, I can. As far as the weapon directions and stuff like that, weapons for the most part auto lock on. The only ones that don't, I want to say, are like things like the mortar, the calamity cannon. But for those, you could just hold the shield button and it'll lock on for you. Other things like the sword and stuff like that, you do have to aim in the general direction, or you could just hold the left trigger and it'll lock on for you. And you do this little strafe thing.
Oh, okay. I'm just looking at like walking across the wood beams. It looks like it might be kind of too precise platforming, and seeing how he changes direction, it doesn't look very fluid.
Yeah, I definitely want to say if you're a fan of good controls and everything like that, give it a shot and let me know in the comments or whatever, because I believe this game has very fluid movement and everything, and I believe that it has great controls, but then there's the argument that it doesn't look very fluid.
I know. just looking at him. He's kind of jerking to each direction, not really turning. But that's personally just me. But seeing him like move kind of fairly fluidly, because I can see you navigating fine. That could just be your experience with the game, but I mean like for first timers.
Oh yeah, first timers I definitely don't want to scare away or anything like that. This is a great game. Once again, the soundtrack. Oh my god, the soundtrack. I actually did a little bit of homework between then and now, and the soundtrack won like 3 different awards in 2011. Just the soundtrack alone. The game also won a few awards for like art style and stuff, but 2011, when this game debuted on Microsoft's Summer of Arcade, oh my god, was this like the game that everybody had to pick up.
Take that, Frozen.
Yeah, Frozen. As far as other things like that, I do want to mention the development team. At first, when I played the game and you see WB and everything like that, the first thing I assumed was there was a team behind this. There had to have been like a big team or something like that pumped this game out and it was super good. And then I looked it up and then it hit me. Indie game, duh. It was a 7-man team. The composer, the music was all done by one man, all composed by one man, and he was the one that got the people for the voices, because some of the songs in this game, specifically the themes, like Azulf's theme, the other survivors' themes, they have lyrics to them, which was something that not many games can say they have. I know Sonic, the Sonic franchise, has a lot of games that have lyrics in them, but I mean, pretty much every other game, like I'm thinking Super Mario Bros.
Nowadays,
and stuff
if
like
they're
that.
not just like
Oh my god, shut up. We just found our next survivor.
Oh boy.
Her name is Zia. Welcome, Zia, everybody.
Hi, Zia.
She is the kind of love interest of the kid that never gets really developed.
Oh, perfect. One that can't talk, a love interest.
Yeah. At least from my perspective, it seems like a love interest, especially after doing some dialogue in between. But, oh my god, is her theme amazing. I actually walk up to her and we sit here and we listen to her theme for a little bit. I'll definitely upload her theme myself, but oh my god. I think I'm fanboying here. I'm gonna keep quiet here because this is the intro part.
They'll be here before too long. We darn near celebrated when the kid got back, didn't we? Zolf never thought he'd see a fellow or again. We become fast friends. Calamity has that effect on people. But there was more to be done. There was one last core to find.
And there we have Zia.
Another ooh la la.
Yes, another ooh la la. She is also of descent, where Zolf is actually from the underground and everything. Their birthplace and everything. Zia is not. She was actually born here and raised in Ceylondia, so she's kind of a mixed breed going on. Where
Halfsies.
Yeah, if I'm correct, her mother is Ceylondian, and the father, after the war and everything, was here. And later on, you find out more about her family and her ties to the Calamity and everything. Because believe it or not, everybody here kind of plays a pivotal role in the Calamity. Regardless, though, once again, her theme gushing everywhere. Here's that very controversial, stuffed animal where Ruckus is saying, oh yeah, it's a toy. The Ura worship it and fear it and stuff. And, we turned it into a toy with buttons for eyeballs. And then we're going to go over here to Zolf over here. And when asked to him, he goes, he wouldn't even look at it. He wouldn't even touch it.
Odd.
Following up the characters, though, Zolf and Zia try to have some sort of connection. At least Zolf tries to reach out to Zia because of their descendants or whatever. But in the end, Zia has more of an alliance to us, the Ceylondians of the group. But to be honest, with my playthrough, it really doesn't matter. Everybody loves each other in the end.
And looks like the Bastion's almost complete.
It's
or
fully
complete?
up there. It's now has all 6 of its pieces. It has all items can be purchased. Or I'm sorry, not all items. I mistake. We're about, I want to say, halfway through with the upgrades at least. At this point, there's another round of items that you have to collect. In a few moments, you'll see that. Or I'm sorry, I believe in the next episode or the episode afterwards, you'll see the new items. They're called shards, and they further upgrade these places. So all of a sudden, the inventory gets a lot bigger. The item selection. With that, I will wrap up saying things like Zia's theme is freaking awesome. Give it a Google, Mark.
Right. I'll look it up. I'm a big music fan. Well, I'll see what it looks like.
Yeah, like I said, this soundtrack was raved about, and oh my god, does her theme just... Ugh! Anyways, so we're going to be shooting off in this cannon here, and we'll see you guys next episode.